I had just joined the gaming club. And before that, my exposure to wargaming was historical, DBA, DBN, and Warhammer 40,000 playing with my friends. Narrative play. Most of the time, we didn't even play any points. It's just put down your models and see what happens. And if you lost the recent battle during the week, you picked up some new models so you could bring them next week. And often it was figuring out just what the heck these units and models did. So the idea of restrictions or playing in a tournament was completely alien to me. Now, arriving at the club, becoming involved in the greater 40K community, competitive play is an important aspect. This is where you're taking your army and going up against other opponents. Could be a small rogue trader tournament, could be a grand tournament, could be a big event. I want to sidebar for a moment about competitive play. I've pushed up more to the Wargaming Tactics playlist, but this idea of competitive tournament play and narrative play, even if you're a narrative player, you're dedicated to squeezing the most out of your army, to really learning the tactics and going and playing in a tournament once or twice a year, even if competitive play isn't your thing, is so valuable. It forces you in the moment to play against opponents that you don't know what they're going to do. You have no idea making those decisions compared to playing at a club over time or with your friends. This idea of a player personality. Those of you who have played 40K with me know that if I can charge and put you to the bolt pistol and chainsword, I don't care about the odds. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. So that is something that you can and often is used against me. But in that moment, a new opponent, tournament play, here's the mission, sometimes unfamiliar, it really forces you to adapt. Plus, it allows you to make so many amazing friends in the community, both locally and a lot larger. That networking of just hanging out and playing some games, that's going to feed all the way back to your narrative play. But we're not talking about that. In this Tactica vlog, we're exploring the display board. So I arrived at the club. We're going to go to a grand tournament. I've got my Space Wolves ready, Sons of Russ, and the club organizer was like, Fritz, we're packing up. We're getting ready. We're going through the checklist. I don't see your display board. And I'm like, what do you mean a display board? What's a display board? Completely new to competitive play. A display board is a board that you can place your units on, you can place your models on, and there's a duality to it. The first, of course, is often these display boards will be part of a diorama and kind of have a terrain and a scene on it, and that can tie into how your army's painted and other themes. Some players at tournaments will go for the hobby aspect, so it's a way to showcase that and looks really, really cool. That's one aspect, but there is a practical aspect to it, and a display board could be something as simple as a rather large board or picture frame that's lightweight with some general basing to match your army and maybe a little bit of terrain accents. It doesn't have to be expensive or overly fancy. The reason for it was this, and when it was explained to me right after the experience of my first and second tournament, I was like, yes, this is an auto include, like extra tape, measuring, and an extra set of dice. If the TO isn't going to provide dice, the display board is key. The first is in between missions, in between rounds, right? At a tournament, round one, you go up, you find out the pairing, you find out the table, you arrive at the table, you're ready to go. Your models are unpacked and they're on the display board. As you play the game, hopefully you don't take too many losses and hopefully you win. The models and units that are destroyed, you put them back on your display board. And then by the end of the game, the few models that are still on the table, unless you've been literally tabled, you take those off, you put on the display board. The packing up and putting away, breaking down, moving models back and forth, right? I mean, usually at a store or a gaming club, you'll bring your gaming case, whatever that vehicle is, take them out, play, and put them away. Well, doing that 3 or 4 times a day, first of all, increases breakage or the chance of something happening. Second, that takes time. Sometimes the event ends or the mission ends. You don't have much time before the next one starts. Having that convenience, having that space, it makes things a little bit more manageable. It makes things a little bit more relaxing. It's just better. Another aspect of the display board on the side would be a place for your tape, for your dice. For those of us that are still analog, in terms of battle books and reference sheets, having like a folder that gets taped on underneath that you can slip those in. Everything is really, really convenient to move, to transport. You don't have to set up, you don't have to break it down. As models get lost and take losses, you can just put them on the side as opposed to all over the table or maybe over in the corner if you're using a gaming case to pack up at the very end of the round. There's just a chance for stuff to get lost. You'd be amazed how when I've worked as kind of an assistant, a TO, tournament organizer assistant, mainly a little bit of muscle here, right? Setting up the tables, checking the terrain, cleaning things up after the event, get everybody out of there so we can have a great time. Go out and cleaning up the tables and putting away the terrain. No joke, a small tournament, 15, 20 players. I'm always finding models, dice, stuff that goes in the display case at the store so someone can claim it because they didn't have a display board and they're moving stuff around and they're putting things back and forward. It's easy to lose a piece. So that competitive play, and again, the Tactica there's a lot of great reasons to do that, even if you're a narrative player. But in terms of auto-include, must-include war gear, a display board, absolutely. And if you're into the narrative of how it looks and best painted and best in show, and you want to express the hobby in that direction, a display board is a great way to framework that. But even if you're not fully in that direction, just having a simple display board, a simple carry board, a simple way to transport your models, it makes it so much more easy, relaxed, gives you more time to focus, more time to recover, more time to hang out and network with no lost or broken models. It is definitely an auto-include.